The only, they don't even have a course, but the ruling class in this country reacts in a way that the only way that they know how, which is to drive down the living standards of the working class and to try to postpone an economic crisis, to kick the can down the road. Workers have to start to chart a fighting course in defense of our interests, fight for a jobs program, fight to legalize undocumented workers, defend our rights from the government, oppose Washington's wars, and above all, start with solidarity and start with the world. As we fight together, we'll get more confident, we'll get more capable, we'll start to change ourselves as we change the world. Malcolm X was one of the great American revolutionaries, and he said something to an audience of young people in the year before he was assassinated. He said, people in power have misused it, and now there has to be a change, and a better world has to be built. And I, for one, will join with anyone. I don't care what color you are, as long as you want to change this miserable condition that exists on this earth. Well, I take that to heart. I say that the fighting perspective that we put forward is an antidote to the long discouragement of the capitalist crisis. I invite workers to join us, to join with us. After the election is over, the Socialist Workers' Party will continue along this course and explain that we need a revolution. We need revolutionary change. We need to build a movement of workers and our allies to defend ourselves from unemployment, racism, and war, to overturn the dictatorship of capital, and to bring to power the class that can defend humanity, which is the working class.
Thank you very much, David. And that concludes our debate for this evening. Congressman Boswell, Congressman Latham, Scott Batcher, David Rosenfeld, thank you very much for being with us this evening. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chuck Morris to wrap things up. Chuck?
All right, thank you very much, Mike. In addition to thanking our debaters here and our guests this evening, we certainly want to take time to thank our listeners at home, at work, or in the fields finishing up harvest. We thank you for listening and taking interest in this very important race. We urge you to exercise your right to vote on Tuesday, November 6th, and we certainly invite you to listen to us here at KMA for all the local, state, and national election results beginning at 8 o'clock on election night, November 6th. Do want to remind you we're a bit over time, but we will be joining our regular programming here shortly. On KMA, of course, that will be ABC News. The St. Louis Cardinals, for Cardinal fans, still in a rain delay. We understand that game will be resuming shortly. The St. Louis Cardinals leading San Francisco 3-1. But we now return to regular programming. Thank you, and good night.
When was the last time you received a $14,000 bonus? Your odds would be better if you worked for Leonard Boswell. From 2008 to 2011, as debt and unemployment skyrocketed, career politician Leonard Boswell awarded his own staff more than $500,000 in bonuses, some for more than $14,000. While he was handing out taxpayer money, Boswell also gave some to Wall Street, voting for the $800 billion TARP bailout. Boswell voted for the trillion-dollar stimulus that sent tax dollars and jobs overseas. And he voted to add trillions in new debt for Iowans. So it's no surprise Boswell spent $500,000 in taxpayer-funded bonuses on his own staff, while Iowa families struggled to make do with less. The Boswell bonuses. Another way Leonard Boswell spends your money, the Washington way.
I'm Tom Latham, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Latham for Congress. TomLatham.com.